The list of top supercar manufacturers has been established and unchanged for many years. These companies follow their traditions and introduce the latest engineering solutions to achieve better performance. However, it's always fun to follow the stories of underdogs who are thirsty for success and recognition in the automotive world. So today, we're looking at the most obscure and lesser-known supercars you might not know about. Let's get started. Hispano Suiza Carbon Sagrera. The electric revolution helped to revive this iconic Spanish car maker. In its designs, Hispano Suiza sticks to the roots and incorporates a lot of smooth lines, a retro-inspired grille, and many bespoke handmade elements. The brand's latest model, Carbon Sagrera, celebrates the car maker's 120th birthday and gets the latest generation quad-motor powertrain, juiced by a 103 kWh battery. To our surprise, the newcomer gets a rear-wheel drive setup that uses sticky Pilot Sport 4S to handle 1,114 horsepower and 848 pound-feet of torque. The acceleration from 0 to 62 miles per hour is swift. It takes just 2.6 seconds, and the 400mm carbon ceramic brakes are there when you need to come to a halt. The overall design theme of the Carbon Sagrera revolves around the copper color and metal accents, while the interior looks tastefully modern with a digital instrument cluster, a vertical infotainment screen, and lots of copper accents. Oilstainlab HF-11. This 25-unit, limited edition mid-engine supercar was developed to achieve a stellar performance by utilizing the motorsports-tested ergonomics. The creator's main objective was to keep the weight under 2,000 pounds, so here we see extensive use of composite panels for the Porsche-inspired body with an exposed tubular suspension and Öhlins dampers in the rear, and of course the custom carbon fiber tub. The model's powered by an innovative swappable powertrain. Depending on your preferences, you can switch between a 4.5-liter flat-six engine that revs to 12,000 RPM and makes 650 horsepower, or use the all-electric setup with a 860 horsepower output and a 13,000 RPM redline. The minimalist cabin offers an abundance of carbon fiber, titanium, and Alcantara elements. It's accessed through the Le Mans-style door and promises enough space for drivers up to 6 feet 3 inches tall. Rodin FZero. This track-only supercar embraces a design reminiscent of the 90s-era Group C racers, featuring a capsule-shaped cockpit, a prominent rear spoiler, a sharp front splitter, and imposing wheel arches reminiscent of Tim Burton's vision for the Batmobile. The Rodin track hypercar boosts a titanium double wishbone suspension and is powered by a mid-mounted, in-house developed hybridized 40-valve RC10 engine. This engine, a 4-liter twin-turbo V10 coupled with a single 130 kilowatt electric motor, generates 1,176 horsepower and 516 pound-feet of torque. It's capable of revving to 9,500 RPM and delivers power through an 8-speed Ricardo sequential titanium gearbox to exclusively the rear wheels. Evoluto 355. A British automotive startup wants to roll back the clock and bring back analog supercars of the 90s. Their latest creation is the Ferrari 355, which was redesigned and mechanically reworked to provide 21st-century reliability. Currently, the plan is to produce 55 units of this modern classic. The engine rebuild process involves the replacement of upwards of 200 parts and results in the output boost to 420 horsepower and an 8,500 RPM redline. This 3.5-liter flat-plane crank V8 gets modern wiring with a new ECU, a 6-speed manual gearbox, and a titanium sports exhaust. The mechanical overhaul is topped off by Brembo 6-piston front and 4-piston rear brakes, while the visual changes include carbon fiber body panels, a reshaped front splitter, iconic 90s pop-up headlights, 4 round taillights, and 19-inch 5-spoke alloy wheels with Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires. The modern classic theme continues in the interior and can be further enhanced according to the owner's taste with a wide variety of customization options. Eccentrica V12. The Diablo is one of the most recognizable supercars of the 1990s and the first production Lamborghini to be capable of reaching 200 miles per hour. The vision of the revitalized Italian exotic comes from the newly established startup from San Marino. This revitalized Lamborghini rides on an upgraded suspension with new active dampers and a convenient front lift system to deal with speed bumps. There are some structural composite reinforcements, standard power steering, and stopping power from Brembo. The model will retain the scissor doors, pop-up headlights, and the wedge-shaped body, but there are new 19-inch wheels and DRLs. The creators chose not to mess up the classic V12 too much. Therefore, the 5.7-liter gets an updated 6-speed manual with different ratios and a custom center-exit exhaust system. The produced 550 horsepower and 442 pound-feet of torque are transferred to the rear wheels. Lastly, the refreshed cabin is devoid of all plastics, has improved ergonomics, and a retro-vibing digital dash. Pambuffetti PJ-01. Giuri Pambuffetti acquired a passion for automobiles as a child in his dad's workshop surrounded by the engine's roar and smell of gasoline. His childhood dreams, backed up by decades of experience in the field, have resulted in the creation of Italy's first hypercar, inspired by Formula One technology and not restricted by marketing logic. Pure emotions are the only aim of the Pambuffetti PJ-01, which is motivated by a 5.2-liter V10 mid-mounted engine making 800 horses. It's equipped with a racing-derived, non-synchronized, electro-actuated sequential gearbox with front non-synchronized gears and steering wheel-mounted paddles. The bodywork is entirely carbon fiber. The aerodynamics package includes huge diffusers on both ends and a large rear fin. This racing bolide has a pushrod suspension, ABS, a 12-position TCS, a safety cage, and 2 detachable steering wheels, one for the track and one for the streets. IsoRivolta GTZ. The legendary Italian coach-building company developed this retro-styled flashback to pay tribute to the Grifo A3C that won the 24-hour of Le Mans race back in its times. Its modern counterpart carries the IsoRivolta GTZ nameplate and is limited to just 19 copies, while every one of them requires 2,500 hours to be put together. Although the elegant classic look with a streamlined body, a pointy nose, and oval headlamps is worth the praise, underneath its lightweight carbon fiber bodywork hides the tried-and-tested Corvette Z06 powertrain. A 6.2-liter supercharged V8 engine that puts out 660 horsepower and 649 pound-feet of torque should provide plenty of power to this 2,645-pound supercar. Ken Okuyama Code 61 Birdcage. Ken Okuyama, the person behind a series of iconic automotive designs such as Ferrari Enzo and 5th-generation Maserati Quattroporte and Code 57 Supercar, is back with another one-off build. His new creation is called Code 61 Birdcage, and it could briefly be described as a modern version of a true Italian classic, the 1960 Maserati Tipo 61 race car to be exact. The importance of the Tipo 61 in automotive history is hard to overestimate. The name Birdcage comes after the vehicle's unique steel cage that made Tipo 61 lighter and consequently quicker than its competitors. To celebrate this page of motoring history, Ken Okuyama created a modern homage car. It features a trellis chassis that is partially exposed and seen from the car's interior, a 2-seater layout, and a construction that is devoid of both a roof and a windshield. The Roadster's carbon fiber reinforced body incorporates bulging fenders, pointy front and rear ends, a high-mounted dual exhaust system, and thin lights. At this time, Code 61 Birdcage is a one-off model, but there is news suggesting a limited production run that will take place in Japan. The detailed technical specifications are yet to be revealed, however some unconfirmed reports suggest that this roadster will be powered by a 4.2-liter V8 engine, capable of putting out 396 horsepower and 326 pound-feet of torque. Engler Desat. This Slovakia-built vehicle is one of the most unusual automotive inventions of our time. Described by the creators as the Super Quad, the Desat is a car-sized transportation invention powered by a 5.2-liter V10 engine. With a curb weight of 2,425 pounds and a 1,100 horsepower output, the Desat is certainly a mean performance machine. The manufacturer quotes a top speed of 217 miles per hour, while the initial acceleration to 62 miles per hour takes a mere 2.5 seconds. Finally, this year someone at Engler decided that a V10-powered quad is not enough, so they proceeded with the creation of a version with a V12 engine. Nichols N1A. Steve Nichols, a renowned McLaren Formula One designer, played a pivotal role in crafting the iconic MP4/4, hailed as one of McLaren's and F1's most triumphant racers. Departing from the British team in 2002, Nichols later returned to the automotive business with his own boutique car manufacturing venture. His inaugural creation, the N1A, pays homage to the McLaren M1A. The car boasts a bonded, extruded aluminum and carbon fiber chassis, a wishbone suspension, and high-performance racing multi-piston brakes. While the original M1A relied on a modified 310 horsepower, 4.5-liter aluminum block Oldsmobile V8, Nichols' iteration gets more robust power plants, the GM-sourced LT1 and LS3 units. The standard 6.2-liter mill generates 460 horses, upgradable to 520 horsepower with throttle bodies and trumpets. Alternatively, the second option is a 7-liter V8 with 650 horses, doubling the output of the M1A. Both engines are paired with Nichols' bespoke 6-speed manual transmission featuring a Senna-inspired gear knob. To finish off this video, we have a challenge for you. Leave us a comment with the number of cars that you first discovered through this video. Also, if you want to learn more about obscure supercar companies, subscribe for future videos on this topic. See you soon, and may the torque be with you!